Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Right, so agenda terms, ring the bell, the first 10 minutes. Mr. Clerk, can you inform the Sergeant at Arms to stop the bell? Okay. Good morning, honorable members. We have business to do this morning, and I'm calling the clerk to start on the order paper. Mr. Clerk?
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Proceed, please.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Okay, honorable members, I take this opportunity to welcome you once again to this sitting. I do notice that we have very important business of approving the annual development plan for the next financial year, and it is upon us to execute that mandate to ensure that we give development to the people of the county of Machakos that you represent. So I welcome you and ask you to debate particularly on that motion with all your ability so that we can do the best for the people. Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 3, messages.
Proceed, please.
Order number 4, petitions.
Proceed.
Order number 5, papers.
Honorable members, under this order we have two business. The first one is by Honorable Mulu on the ADP, laying the paper, and the second one is by Honorable Maida on the second bill. If Honorable Mulu is not here, let's proceed to Honorable Maida. Honorable Mita, you're holding brief. Honorable Mita, you're holding brief.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
For Honorable...
Yeah, as a member of the Trade Committee,
yes.
If the Vice Chair is not in,
yes.
Honorable Speaker, I think we can be allowed to proceed.
So we should proceed. Proceed,
Thank
proceed.
you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, 29th March 2022, the report of the Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization Committee on the Annual Development Plan for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mita. It's signed, yes, the report is signed. So the next business is by Honorable Moffat Maida.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the table of the Assembly today, 29th March 2022. The report of the Joint Assemblies Committee on the consideration of the Machakos County South Eastern Kenya Economic Bloc, Bill 2021. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Maida. Is the report signed? Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, Mr. Clerk, proceed to the next order.
Order number 6, notice of motion.
Honorable members, under this order, we have one business by Honorable Anthony Mulu, but Honorable Mita is holding brief.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Again, I'm Honorable Moses Mita, holding brief on behalf of Honorable Anthony Molu, who is the Vice Chair, Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization Committee. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Section 1041 of the County Government Act 2012 provides that a county government shall plan for the county and no public funds shall be appropriated outside a planning framework developed by the County Executive Committee and approved by the County Assembly. Aware that Section 106(2) of the same Act stipulates that county plans shall be based on the functions of the county governments as specified in the 4th schedule of the Constitution and on relevant national policies. Section 107(2) of the County Governments Act further stipulates that the county plans shall be the basis for all budgeting and spending in a county. Further aware that Section 126(3) of the PFM Act requires the County Executive Committee member responsible for planning to submit the development plan to the County Assembly for its approval and send a copy to the Commission on Revenue Allocation and the National Treasury. Cognizant that the Annual Development Plan ADP 2022-2023 was submitted to the County Assembly by the Department of Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization on 12th October 2021, after which it was committed to the Committee on Trade, Economic Planning, Investment and Industrialization for scrutiny and eventual approval by the House. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that the House discusses and approves the report of the Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization Committee on the Annual Development Plan for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mita. Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 7, statements.
Proceed, please. I understand there is one business or members on statements. This is on House business. It's supposed to be read by the Honorable Majority Leader. I do not see him, but the Honorable Minority Leader is present. They can proceed to make the statements.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I'm Alex Kamitru, MC at allowed in lead of minority in this Honorable House. Madam Speaker, the House Business Committee met on Monday, 28 March 2022 to prioritize business for the House pursuant to the provisions of the Standing Order number 151 sub 5. The committee balloted business as follows. 1. Tuesday morning, 29th March 2022 at 10 a.m. A. Report of Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization Committee on the Annual Development Plan for the year 2022-2023 by Honorable Mulu, Vice Chairperson, Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization Committee. 2. Tuesday afternoon, 29th March 2022 at 2:30 p.m. A. The Machakos County Southeastern Economic Block Bill 2021, second reading by Honorable Moffat Maitha, Chairperson, Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. 3. Wednesday morning, 30th March 2022 at 10 a.m. A. The Machakos County Southeastern Economic Block Bill 2021, Committee of the Whole House by Honorable Moffat Maitha, Chairperson, Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. B. The Machakos County Southeastern Economic Block Bill 2021, third reading by Honorable Moffat Maitha, Chairperson, Justice and Legal Affairs Committee. C. Report of Budget and Appropriation Committee on the consideration of the county budget and outlook paper, CBROP 2021 by Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, Chairperson, Budget and Appropriation Committee. 4. Wednesday afternoon, 30th March 2022 at 2:30 p.m. A. Report of Budget and Appropriation Committee on the consideration of the County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2022 CFSP by Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, Chairperson, Budget and Appropriation Committee. B. Motion that notwithstanding the resolution of the Assembly made on 8th February 2022, approval of Assembly calendar and pursuant to Standing Order number 25, sub 4, the Assembly resolves to alter its calendar, regular sessions, for the 6 sessions 2022 in respect to Part 1, to adjourn the Assembly on 30th March 2022 and resume its regular sittings on Tuesday, 3rd May 2022, and that the calendar assembly, the assembly calendar, regular sessions for this 6th session be altered accordingly. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minority Leader. Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 8, motion approval of report on annual development plan for the financial year 2022-2023.
Thank you. Honorable Mita, I believe you are still holding brief for Honorable Mulu on this order, on this business. Please proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Section 1041 of the County Governments Act 2012 provides that a county government shall plan for the county and no public funds shall be appropriated outside a planning framework developed by the County Executive Committee and approved by the County Assembly. Aware that Section 106(2) of the same Act stipulates that county plans shall be based on the functions of the county governments as specified in the 4th schedule of the Constitution and on relevant national policies. Section 107(2) of the County Governments Act further stipulates that the county plans shall be the basis for all budgeting and spending in a county. Further aware that Section 126(3) of the PFM Act requires the County Executive Committee member responsible for planning to submit the development plan to the County Assembly for its approval and send a copy to the Commission on Revenue Allocation and the National Treasury. Cognizant that the Annual Development Plan ADP 2022-2023 was submitted to the County Assembly by the Department of Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization on 12th October 2021, after which it was committed to the Committee on Trade, Economic Planning and Investment and Industrialization for scrutiny and eventual approval by the House. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that this House discusses and approves the report of the Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization Committee on the Annual Development Plan for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Honorable Speaker, I wish to call Honorable Rosina Kanini to second my motion. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Rosina Kanini, and I do second. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Honorable members, I now propose the question that this House discusses and approves the report of the Trade, Economic Planning, Investment and Industrialization Committee on the Annual Development Plan for the financial year 2022-2023. And I invite you, members, to debate the motion. I appreciate Mheshimiwa Mita, you're supposed to read it first. Please come and read. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, with your permission, can I do it from here?
Yes, you can, if that's where you're comfortable.
Thank you.
But I know that you must be having a summary, an executive summary. How do you propose to go about it?
I actually wanted to request for your guidance, Honorable Speaker, on how I should table the report.
Yes.
It's
a relatively long report. When was it shared to the members? Table clerk, when was it shared to the members? Right. Because it is an important report, let's see how we will navigate through. You can do the introduction, start right away.
Okay, Honorable Speaker. Section 104 1 of the County Governments Act 2012 provides that a county government shall plan for the county and no public funds shall be appropriated outside a planning framework developed by the County Executive Committee and approved by the County Assembly. Section 106(2) of the same Act stipulates that county plans shall be based on the functions of the county governments as specified in the 4th schedule of the Constitution and on relevant national policies. Section 107(2) of the County Governments Act further stipulates that the county plan shall be the basis for all budgeting and spending in a county. Honorable Speaker, the Annual Development Plan, that is ADP, deals with annual county planning and borrows from the County Integrated Development Plan, that is CIDP, which is a 5-year development plan. Mandate of the committee. Honorable Speaker, the Committee on Trade, Planning and Industrialization is established pursuant to the 2nd schedule of the Machakos County Assembly standing orders with specific mandate on matters related to economic planning, tourism, trade development, regulation, including markets, outdoor advertising, trade licenses, that is excluding regulation of professions, fair trading practices, and statistics, and all matters relating to the delineation and management of decentralized units, urban areas, and municipalities. Honorable Speaker, the 2022-2023 financial year ADP was submitted to the County Assembly by the Department of Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization, after which it was committed to the Committee on Trade, Economic Planning, Investment and Industrialization. Composition of the committee. Honorable Speaker, the committee has 12 members as follows. 1, Honorable Anthony Mulu, who is the Vice Chair. 2, Honorable Moses Mita, member. Honorable Anastasia Mutuku, member. And Honorable Judas Dawa, member. Honorable Betty Mzioki, member. Honorable Christine Koki, member. Honorable Jospat Kasioki, member. Honorable Mark Mwendo, member. Honorable Mohamed Hali, member. Honorable Peter Mutiso, member. Honorable Joseph Musau, member. Honorable Brian Kisila, member. Sector interrogations. Honorable Speaker, to effectively interrogate the 2022-2023 ADP, the committee drew a work plan to guide the process. The work plan included committee interrogation of the document and sectorial interrogations by respective sectorial committees of the Assembly. There is Sector 1, which is agriculture and food sector. Honorable Speaker, I just proceed with the reading.
I suggest you read because this is a very important document and the members need to appreciate. You are first reader. So
I'll
just
try.
proceed. Just proceed.
Though I had not prepared myself, but I'll try.
For that, right.
Yeah.
Then why don't we just say, when you come to, because it is here, the members are seeing it, agriculture, food sector, on short land preparation timelines, you just refer to that. Headings, in other words. Then on adequate use of certified seeds, it was observed that maybe you may need to highlight what you think you should.
Let me just read the
Yeah.
report.
Okay.
Agriculture and food security sector. Honorable Speaker, the sector is composed of the directorates of crops, livestock, veterinary services, fisheries, and cooperative development. The committee observed the following. On short land preparation timelines, the strategy of mechanization may not be applicable to most farmers since many of them have small pieces of land or the topography of the area may not allow use of machinery. 2, the county government should instead give farmers simple tools like forked jembes, carts, plows, since most farmers use these tools. 3, the county government should also consider purchasing small mechanized tools to ease the cost of cultivation, hence increase the profit margins. Next point, the county government should develop a work plan that will ensure that the free tractor plowing program is done not later than mid-September, so that rains fall in October, there will be no inconveniences. On inadequate use of certified seeds, it was observed that certified seeds from the department are bought from Caro. Payment is done on cash basis before delivery. This means proper planning and budgeting needs to be done before planting time. Enough budgetary allocation is required since this program is highly appreciated by residents of Machakos. The 2 kg of beans and 2 kg of green grams given to one farmer is very little. A reasonable amount is about 5 kgs of beans and 5 kgs of green grams. The committee further recommends that the number of beneficiaries be increased to about 400 per ward and be done on a rotational basis. Additionally, the distribution of seeds to beneficiaries should be based on the need of the particular ward. That the county should consider the climate conditions of each ward when distributing seedlings. For instance, green grams don't do well in Matungulu East Ward, and giving green grams to the farmers in that ward will be a total waste. Instead, they should be given more beans, and the green grams be distributed to farmers in regions where green grams do well.
Yes, Honorable Mita, I think the second line should be reading seeds, not seedlings. The last point. Should
Okay.
be seeds, not seedlings.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. On distribution of fertilizer, it was observed that there is inadequate fertilizer and inadequate distribution points. The committee recommended that farmers be encouraged to venture on compost manure. It is cheap, anyone can prepare at home, and it is environmentally friendly, that is organic farming. Also, increase the quantity given to each beneficiary and issuance be done on a rotational basis. Fertilizer to be issued once per year, preferably in September, in anticipation for the short rain starting in October. The Assembly to approve enough budgetary allocation. Last fiscal year, 2020-2021, there was no budget for fertilizer. Procurement be done during the first quarter of the financial year, and the procured quantity be enough to cater for 2 planting seasons, and all of it be given to farmers in October for proper planning. Currently, the county has 3 depots for distribution of fertilizers, that is Machakos, Tala, and Kidimani. The county should consider opening at least 1 depot in every sub-county for equal distribution of fertilizers. On exposure to emerging agricultural technologies, it was noted that uptake of technology is not easy for most farmers, so a lot of sensitization and training is needed at the grassroots level. Technology application has financial implication, and so the county government will need to subsidize these programs. The county government should put into consideration the green economy and organic farming approaches that protect the environment. On high losses during post-harvest handling and storage, the county government should consider partnering with the national government cereal board to store their produce in their silos to avoid post-harvest losses. Some of the causes of post-harvest losses are delayed harvesting time, unforeseen rainfall occurrence, poor storage places, poor drying, storage pest effects, drop in prices. The county government should increase the methods of harvesting surface water in addition to the weirs and dams in order to mitigate post-harvest losses due to poor rainfall. On drought and low productivity issues, sensitize farmers on good early maturing crop breeds and take advantage of marketing and food provision. Invest on weather data for purposes of alerting farmers on the expected weather conditions. Keep the traditional seeds, plants for purpose of future breeding and gene capability. Identify the seeds that fit a certain ecological zone. On crop pests and diseases, the county should adopt alternative pest and disease control methods that are environmentally friendly. The county to consider distributing beehives to farmers, as this was not done in the last financial year, though there was a budget for the same. Another department of infrastructure, energy, and ICT. Honorable Speaker, this sector comprises of energy, roads, public works, and ICT subsectors. The sector provides linkages to other sectors as it is made up of economic enablers that are critical in bringing socio-economic transformation to attain the county agenda and in turn the Big Four agenda. Interrogation of roads and public works plan by the Committee on Transport Observations. By the Committee on Transport, Madam Speaker, observations. In the financial year 2020-2021, the roads and transport subsector improved accessibility across the county by constructing 19.7 kilometers of bituminous roads, grading 1,433 kilometers, graveling 96.5 kilometers, installing 531 gabions, 5 kilometers marked, and 1,089 meters culverts. Observation. The Transport and Roads Department highlights on having tarmacked 19.7 kilometers of bituminous roads. Response. The Department of Transport and Roads has tarmacked 19.7 kilometers as shown below. There is one. Project name is Seveni Kionyweni Road. Location is Mwala Sub-County. Quantity done is 17 kilometers. 2, there is Kidhini Water. That is the project name. Location is Machakos. I assume Machakos Sub-County. And then quantity done is 2.5 kilometers, totaling to 19.5 kilometers. Observation. The Public Works Department highlights of having constructed Cabro making factory. Is the factory, there is a question, is the factory operational and how much was spent in its construction? Another question is, if operational, is the county getting value for money? Response. Cabro making factory. The buildings are complete and connected to electricity. Installation of the machine was contracted to a supplier for supply and installation. The supplier failed to meet the conditions and the contract has been terminated. Observations. The Roads and Transport Department targets to tarmac 10 kilometers of roads in the fiscal year 2022-2023 at a cost of 200 million. Which are these specific roads? Response. Tarmacking of new roads, that is A, Kidimani, Kalukuni, Kikesa Road, that is 7.4 kilometers, and then B, Kinka Airways Road, 2.6 kilometers. Observations. The department targets to mark 15 kilometers of roads at a cost of 26 million. This translates to 1.73 million per kilometer. Is this economical? Response. Marking of roads. This is a typical error. Our estimates for road marking is Kenya shillings 300,000 per kilometer using thermoplastic paints. This budget allocation is meant for marking 87 kilometers of road within the towns and county major roads. Observations. The Public Works Department on construction and maintenance of government buildings plans to spend 740 million. Are there new buildings and which the department are there new buildings which the department intends to construct? Where are these new buildings intended to be constructed / maintained? Response. Public Works. Construction and maintenance of government buildings. Attached find a list of all public works projects to be undertaken. Highlighted are proposed new buildings. There is an annexed in a spreadsheet. Another department, Honorable Speaker, is ICT sector as interrogated by Labor, Public Service and ICT Committee. Achievements in the fiscal year 2020-2021. BQs and site preparations was done in the financial year 2020-2021 for the construction of the office block for the board members and board secretariat. Projects that were not achieved as anticipated. Completion of the construction office block for the board members and board secretariat was not achieved. The following are the ongoing projects in the financial year 2021-2022. Construction of office block for the board members and board secretariat. The priority projects for the financial year 2022-2023 are stated here under. In construction of office block for the board members and service and construction of office block for the board members and board secretariat. The challenges encountered are budget constraints to cater for the whole project.
Honorable Mita, I know you are finding difficulties reading this report. It has really changed from the way we normally do a report, isn't it?
You're finding questions and answers.
Yes,
questions
yes,
and
Honorable
answers.
Speaker. I hope I'm coming out clear.
Well, let's hope so. It's totally different from how we do it, but let's just proceed. Let's see what sense we can make out of this report, the way it is.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. There is health and emergency services sector observations. The committee noted that 2 ambulances are being proposed for procurement in the financial year under consideration. A response. The CEC Health noted that the department was not aware of procurement of said ambulances. Observation. Among the projects earmarked to be done by the department in the fiscal year under consideration was the trauma center. The committee sought to know the proposed location for the said center and why it was a priority over completion of the stalled community hospitals initiated in the fiscal year 2014-2015. There is a response. Trauma Center is a comprehensive regional resource that is capable of providing total care for every aspect of injury from rescue, treatment, recovery, and rehabilitation. It will also provide training and research to help develop and improve trauma care from partners. The reason Machakos County was selected as a pilot county for UHC is because of its proximity to Nairobi-Mombasa Highway. There being only one trauma center between Nairobi and Mombasa, that is Makindu Level 4 Hospital, there is need for another trauma center to serve the highway considering the number of accidents happening. This warrants the project a priority since it is life-saving. Outcome of emergency recovery is largely dependent on timely response and rescue, with the nearest facility being 16 kilometers from Machakos Junction Highway. Most accident victims either lose life or become permanently disabled by the time they are referred to a higher facility. However, due to budgetary constraints, the proposed trauma center has been put on hold to prioritize funding of continuing projects as well as attend to operation and maintenance requirements of the department. Committee observation. The committee noted that the CT scan machine meant for level 5 has not been captured in the ADP, despite the department committing to have it in the fiscal year 2022-2023. There is a response. In regards to the CT scan machine was proposed in the fiscal year 2018-2019 ADP, but was not implemented due to budget constraints. It was recaptured in sector capital projects for fiscal year 2020-2021 when it was advertised and awarded. The contractor has begun the process of importation as well as refurbishment of the infrastructure at the Machakos Level 5 Hospital Radiology Department, where the CT scan is to be installed. Committee recommendation. The committee recommends that the project on purchase of ambulances be removed from the ADP. The committee recommends that the project on the trauma center be removed from the ADP. The committee recommends that the CT scan for Level 5 hospital be captured in the ADP fiscal year for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Honorable Speaker, there is another Department Finance and Revenue Allocation Committee interrogation report. The committee discussed and came up with the following report. The major achievements of the subsectors in the fiscal year 2020-2021 were 1. The Department of Economic Planning and External Resource Mobilization mobilized donations worth 78,929,900 from 32 development partners to fight the negative effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and held several development partners roundtable meetings. 2. The County Treasury prepared County Budget Review Outlook paper and budget estimate for the fiscal year, for the financial year 2020-2021. Subsector development needs, key issues and strategies. There is a subsector, economic planning and external resource mobilization, development needs, key issues. There is insufficient budgetary allocation. Also, there is inadequate data analysis tools, that is relevant software. Strategies, push for allocation of funds required and also provision of relevant data analysis tools. There is another subsector that is county treasury and revenue collection. Development needs, key issues, challenge to meet on resource revenue collection targets. There is another one, late disbursement of funds from national government. There is another one, pending bills. Another one, over budgeting. Another one, low budget absorption rate. Strategies, automation of revenue collection. There is revenue mapping. There is review of land rates. There is debt management strategy. There is adherence to budget ceiling, and also draft and implement relevant policies. Committee observations. One of the challenges highlighted here is meeting on resource revenue target, and the strategies to be employed are: 1, automation of revenue collection, and 2, revenue mapping. Then there is 3, reviewing land rates. However, from the list of capital and non-capital projects, there is no project to realize these projects. There is a sector non-capital projects for financial year 2022-2023. There is 1, economic planning and external resource mobilization department.
Honorable Mita,
Yes.
you just refer the members to that table
Yeah.
so
Honorable
that you don't need to go reading every content in those boxes there.
Thank
They
you.
can read.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for your guidance. Then we go to another sector, that is education, youth, and social welfare sector. Achievements by Education Department for the fiscal year 2021-2022. Honorable Speaker, the department implemented the following activities in the annual development plan for the financial year. Improved early childhood education infrastructure through construction of 37 ECDE classes, and also improved vocational training centers infrastructure through construction of 5 workshops and 14 ablution blocks. Proposed projects in the ADP 2022-2023. The department anticipates 2, 1, improve access to early childhood development and education by establishing 74 new centers across the county. Also, improve teacher-to-pupil ratio by recruiting more early childhood education teachers from 970 to 1,190. Also, there is increased access to vocational training centers by establishing more vocational training centers from 6 to 9. Another one, recruiting more vocational training instructors from 96 to 200. Education Committee and Aggregation Report. Honorable Speaker, the Committee on Education interrogated the annual development plan and came up with the following observations and recommendations. Committee observation. The committee observed that the Education Department has since 2013 embarked on construction of public ECD centers within the county, though the department has not yet adopted the new ECD model that has 3 sections, including the main classroom, sleeping bay, and veranda as provided in the Basic Education Act guidelines, amongst other key requirements. Most of the pupils enrolled in ECD centers within the county are from disadvantaged households, and that they suffer from hunger and malnutrition, which has highly contributed to low enrollment, poor class attendance, and high cases of dropouts. In 2017, the Machakos County government employed 946 ECD teachers, leaving a deficit of over 70% of the total recommended number. The shortfall has disadvantaged some of the public ECDE centers which has no ECDE teacher attached to it, thus disadvantaging the entire community. Committee recommendations. The department should embark on developing of complete ECDE centers as provided in the Basic Education Act 2013, as well as upgrading the existing ECDE classrooms with office block, toilet, water tank, outdoor playing equipment, and ramps for physically challenged pupils. Also, Education Department should implement the school feeding program in all public ECDE centers as per the approved Machakos County Early Childhood Development Policy, as a way of increasing enrollment and retention of the pupils. Another one, ECDE program being a fully devolved function of the county government, the Department of Education should advocate for adequate budgetary allocation for employment of more ECDE teachers from 970 to 1,190 as planned before the end of 2022-2023 financial year. Another department, Honorable Speaker, is Youth, Women and Sports Committee, achievements, youth policy. Key outcomes / output is to empower youths to achieve a better future. The policy was completed and the public participation conducted in the wards level in the county. Youth Job Center. The key outcome is to create job employment opportunities and empower youth in entrepreneurship. The key performance indicator is number of well-running job centers established, one being the Machakos Youth Job Center, which was successfully opened and is running according to the report. There is social media engagement. Key outcome is to inform and enlighten youth in the community. Key performance indicator being number of social media channels active and running. According to the report, 3 social media channels were started and videos done to be shared in all of them. The channels are active and slowly growing traction. There is also sports equipment program. The key outcome is to enhance sporting environment. According to report, only 300 out of 500 were achieved due to inadequate funds. There is also establishment of stadia and social halls. Key outcome is to improve infrastructure for outdoor and indoor games. According to report, 60% is done and 4 stadia and social halls construction ongoing. There is Kenyatta Stadium renovations. Key outcome is improved infrastructure for outdoor games and maintain international standards. According to the report, Kenyatta Stadium renovations ongoing. There is also basketball court. According to the report, 1 basketball court is ongoing, 8 more to go for each sub-county. There is a capacity building for sportsmen, women, and officials. According to the report, nothing was done due to funding and COVID-19 hindered the success. There is sports tournaments. 2 successful tournaments held in collaboration with the private sector. There is hosting, sports activities, and other events. Nothing took place due to COVID-19. There is Machakos United Football Club. The football club is successfully participating in the mini league to proceed to Division 1. There is also sports policy. The draft document is ready to proceed to executive stage. 1. Capital projects for the fiscal year 2022-2023. Youth Innovation and ICT Training Centers. The department is planning to construct innovation centers at a cost of 30 million, source of funding being the Machakos County Government and development partners. The performance indicators being number of youth innovation centers established targeting 3 innovation centers. Procurement of training equipment. The department is intending to procure materials and equipment required for capacity building around the county at a cost of 4 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and development partners. The performance indicators being the number of wards equipped with state-of-the-art capacity building training targeting all the 40 wards. Sports department. Establishment of study and social halls. To improve infrastructure for outdoor and indoor games at a cost of 600 million. Source of funds being the Machakos County Government and development partners. Provision of sports equipment. To enhance sporting environment and development of sports talent at a cost of 15 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and development partners. The department is targeting 200 teams. Basketball and volleyball courts. The department is intending to construct basketball and volleyball courts at a cost of 12 million. Source of funds being the Machakos County Government and development partners. They are targeting to construct 8 courts since it's a new project. Procuring and installation of stadium stack chairs. The description of activity is installation of stack chairs for the new stadiums at a cost of 25 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and development partners and is a new project. Monument of historical sports people and a wall of fame. The description of activity is construction of a monument of an historical sports person in all stadia at a cost of 2 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners, according to the report, is a new project. Tree planting, to be done in all stadiums at a cost of Kenya shillings 500,000. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners, and is a new project. Branding and advertising. The description of activity is branding and advertising for 5 study at a cost of 5 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners. Floodlight and power installation. The description of activity is installation of power and floodlights in all study at a cost of 20 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners. Procurement and installation of generator. The description of activity is installation of generator at a cost of 12.5 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners. They are targeting to install 5 new generators, non-capital projects for the fiscal year 2021-2022. Youth Conference. Description of activity is an annual conference held each year for Machakos youth, county youth. It invites exhibitors, the youth, and keynote speakers who can help empower the youth through job creation, entrepreneurship opportunities, and access to affirmative funds. The exercise is carried out at a cost of 4.5 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners. It's an ongoing project. Bi-weekly youth sensitization. Description of activity is training, sensitization, and needs assessment of youths in all villages by use of virtual communication, i.e. videos and written materials at a cost of 4 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners. Social media engagement. Description of the activity is use of social media to enlighten the youth on all issues. We'll also use all social media platforms available to showcase the different talents that our youth possess, and also provide a communication platform for our youth at a cost of 1 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government. Youth Entrepreneurship Awards. Description of activity is 50 youth per award, with exemplary entrepreneurship projects to be awarded at a cost of 3 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners. It will target 40 entrepreneurs per award, since is a new project. Talent development support. Description and activity is creation of talent academies to nurture youth talents at a cost of 4 million. Source of funds being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners, targeting 40 youth groups and 40 individual talents supported in every ward, and it's a new project. Youth Against Drugs and Substance Abuse, COVID-19 and HIV/AIDS campaigns. Description of activities create awareness on this social challenge that is facing the youth in the society, and also highlight different solutions to the problems at a cost of 3 million. Source of funds being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners, targeting 40 capacity building. It's an ongoing project. Sports. Establishing sports academies. Description of activity is establishment of sports centers for talent development at a cost of 50 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners. Capacity building for sportsmen, women, and officials. Description of activities improved officiating in all sports disciplines, improved training for all officials at a cost of 10 million. Source of funds being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners. There is Machakos Fund Run description. There is Machakos Fund Run. Description of activities: improved physical fitness and health, provide leisure and inclusion for members of the community at a cost of 4 million. Source of funds being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners. There is also annual county football tournament. Description of activity is annual program to identify nature and promote talent development at a cost of 15 million. Source of fund being the Machakos County Government and Development Partners. Upgrading of sports playgrounds and goalpost installations. Description of activity is improved infrastructure for outdoor games. Honorable Speaker, there is another department, Environment, Land, Energy, and Natural Resources Sector, Energy. The following were the observations. 1. On Mulikamwizis, the department should do survey at village level and identify sites where insecurity is a problem and prioritize to put more Mulikamwizis. 2. Sign a MOU with Kenya Power and Lighting Company to avoid frequent disconnection of electricity supplied to Mulikamwizis. 3. Provide adequate budget under the vote of energy. 4. Set up a county electricity monitoring team to liaise with KPL company to report and address issues of power shortage. 5. The county to introduce a program of providing solar panels and lighting to street lights in the towns. There is land. The following were the observations. 1. Do physical planning to all urban towns. 2. Do survey and mark boundaries to all public roads and rural roads to address the problem of road encroachment. 3. Make a plan of how to produce and issue title deeds to residents at ward level, since the process has been expensive and difficult to residents. 4. Settle succession disputes in all contested areas like the Mukamuku farms in Matungulu sub-county. 5. Provide valuation role for all lands in Machakos County. There is the environment. The following were the observations. 1. Increase the number of wares from 18 to 120 so that each ward can get an average of 5 wares per fiscal year. 2. Enforce to arrest the problem of encroachment of settlements in protected natural resource zones. 3. Set up county annual tree planting day and presentation of awards to individuals with recognizable effort in environmental protection. 4. Legislate on sustainable utilization of sand resource. 5. Draw a program on monitoring and nursing of tree seedlings from planting time to maturity. 6. Include water change programs in all the wards. There is water and irrigation sector. 1. Remove the program of mega dams because of budgetary constraints. Retain 4. 2. Survey and mark boundaries for all existing public dams, since many have been encroached by neighbors. 3. Desilt existing dams first before digging new ones. 4. Expand the program of water harvesting by making a plan to have PVC tanks next to the existing dams, and scrap the program of reticulation, since from the previous reports the program does not depict value for money. 5. Assign the role of monitoring breakdown of boreholes to water companies, which should be facilitated with the required equipment. 6. Identify sites with natural springs and harness that water. 7. Draw a program of monitoring boreholes to avoid vandalism, especially the solar panels. 8. Remove bureaucratic procedures of launching projects. Once a project is completed, it should immediately be released for use by residents. 9. Come up with sustainable policies to govern water pollution. 10. Upscale the program on sewerage. 11. Upscale the program on stormwater drainage, commercial, tourism, and labor affairs sector. Culture Committee. Analysis of the ADP 2022-2023 fiscal year. Analysis of the ADP 2022-2023. Sector development needs, issues, and strategies. The subsector, culture, development needs, issues is Heritage Center, Cultural Festival, and Akamba Cultural Center. There is 2 county image subsector. There is need is installation of gantries. There is another subsector, Machaud board. The need is inadequate film production skills and production studios. There is also subsector of liquor licensing. Need is rehabilitation center, office block, liquor regulation and control. There is another subsector, recreational facilities. Need is landscaping and maintenance of recreational parks. Another subsector is tourism, and needs are inadequate market for local tourism products, inadequate tourism infrastructure, and inadequate capacity building. Sector capital projects for fiscal year 2022-2023. Program name: 1. Tourism development and promotion. There is curio outlets in every sub-county, 400,000 shillings. there is installation of attraction signages, 2 million. Program name 2, liquor licensing and regulation. Construct an office block for the Directorate of Liquor at 600 million, at 6 million. There is established a rehabilitation center in every subsector at 10 million. There is another program, film promotion and development. Equip the studios with the necessary equipment and connect water and electricity at 10 million. There is another program name, landscaping and maintenance of recreational parks. Build a campsite and develop a team building sector at 10 million. Also install solar powered lights to reduce power cost at 5 million. Another program is highway beautification and signage. Install gantries along the Machakos borders at 2 million. That is 2 million. Install road signages, 4 million. And then another program, promotion and marketing of Akamba culture. Construction of a cultural center, 33 million. Another one, construction of a heritage center, 20 million. Sectors non-capital programs for fiscal year 2022-2023. Program name, tourism development and promotion. Tourism promotion and marketing, hold tourism exhibitions and events, plant trees and sensitize the community on effects of pollution, cost 34 million. Tourism capacity building, organize and facilitate training and sensitization forums, also plant trees and sensitize the community on effects of pollution, that is 2.4 million. Assets acquisition, procure laptops, projector, photocopier, printers, and LED screens, 7.5 million. Another program, liquor licensing and regulation. Conduct inspection to ensure compliance, 5 million. Install software to execute all liquor processes, 4 million. Procure laptops, projector, photocopier, printers, and LED screen, 7.5 million. Another program is film promotion and development. Organize and facilitate Machakos Fests, that is 25 million. I think this fest is Festival. Organize film training, top choir competition, and facilitate production of a full feature movie, 22 million. Another one, organize art fest event, 2 million. Another one, organize a cultural festival, 5 million. Program 4, promotion and marketing of Akamba culture. That is, organize a cultural theme night, 20 million. Hold cultural festivals to promote and preserve Akamba culture, 6 million. There is monitoring and evaluation. Projects with the current situation, 2021, and planned targets for 2022-2023. 1. Construction of office block targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 2. Establishment of a treatment and rehabilitation center targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 3. Complete studios targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 1 targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 4. Construction of a Akamba Cultural Center targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 5. Construction of Heritage Center targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 6. Tourism and hospitality sensitization program, sensitization of 300 persons in the year 2021. 7. Tourism exhibitions, that is 4 done in 2021, 2 targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 8. Beauty pageants, 4 done in 2021, 1 targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 9. Drug and substance abuse sensitization campaigns, 4 done in 2021, 8 targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 10. Capacity building for enforcement and liquor officers, 9 targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 11. Production of music video, 1 targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 12. Cultural festivals, 1 targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 13. Installation of gantries, 5 done in 2021, 2 targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 14. Road signages, 15 done in 2021, 10 targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 15. Construction of campsite and development of team building section, 1 targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 16. Installation of solar powered lights, 10 targeted in the financial year 2022-2023. 17. curio outlets in every sub-county. One targeted in the financial year 2022-2023, 18, Art Fest event. 2 done in 2021, one targeted in the financial year 2022-2023, 19, Cultural and Shopping Festival. One targeted in the financial year 2022-2023, conclusion and acknowledgement. Honorable Speaker, allow me to thank all the sectorial committees for their cooperation throughout the entire process, more so the following secretariat. From the Trade, Economic, Planning and Innovation Committees in compiling the report, Secretariat. 1, Mr. Mutuku Kavita, Senior Clerk Assistant. 2, MS Faith Kilonzo, Clerk Assistant. 3, MS Luisa Kamau, Deputy Hansard Editor. 4, Mr. Daniel Ndambuki, Sergeant at Arms. I wish to thank all the honorable members of the committee for their commitment in executing the committee's mandate. Further, the committee extends its appreciation to the Speaker and the Office of the Clerk for facilitating its activities. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The report was meant to be read by Honorable Anthony Molu for Chairperson Committee on Trade, Economic and Planning and Industrialization. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Mita. So, honorable members, I now propose the question that the House discusses and approves the report of the Trade, Economic Planning, Investment and Industrialization Committee on the Annual Development Plan for the financial year 2022-2023. I invite you members to debate the motion. Honorable Helen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to congratulate the committee for a very well written report. And as the Madam Speaker said, the style has changed because they have given us resolutions to what they proposed. But as a Vice Chair of Education, I must say that I'm happy with their conclusions because they have talked about increasing the number of nursery school teachers and vocational trainers. They have also touched on upgrading ECD classes to be modern by including other activities for our young ones. The other area that I would like to comment on is on the agriculture. We very well know that our people in Machakos live on agriculture. Most of them are peasant farmers whose livelihood is based on what they get from their gardens. There is very much need for the county to even reallocate more resources to ensure that these people are given mechanized, not tractors, but small mechanized units that can help them so that they can produce much more for their livelihood and even for sale in the export market. The other area I would like to talk about is on transport. I think on transport, the report talked about the introduction or the establishment of a Cabro Works factory. I don't know what the procedure is, but I wonder whether we needed as an assembly to be consulted, because that is like deviating into forming parastatals under the new government. I don't know, the Machakos government. I need to be guided on that because I felt that the assembly should have also been involved in establishment or even channeling resources to come up with a parastatal. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Right. Thank you. So, honorable members, I will put the question, but I ask the mover of the motion to reply. I don't see any further comment.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As in your communication, Honorable Speaker, you stated the importance of this report, Honorable Speaker. I think this is the initiative which starts for budget preparations for 2022-2023, Honorable Speaker. and there is a lot of work ahead, both the executive and the assembly, Honorable Speaker, because now this document has to go to the executive so that now they prepare for public participations, collect views, and engage the community on the document before us. So, Honorable Speaker, it's very important that I want to appreciate this assembly because we have managed to beat the deadline, Honorable Speaker. If it will be passed, it will give the executive enough time to come up with a budget for the next government, Honorable Speaker, which I assume will be the implementing government, Honorable Speaker. And so I believe before we go on recess for the month of April, by the time we come back in the month of May, the executive would have done the necessary so that, Honorable Speaker, we utilize that time to pass the budget and leave everything ready for the coming government. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the honorable members for their commitment, for their time, sacrifice. Honorable Speaker, it has really taken us time, engaging also the chief officers and heads of departments, so that, Madam Speaker, whatever is before us catches the priority, which is of the benefit to our people. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank your office. I want to thank the clerks for their commitments, and I hope the report will go a way of solving much of our problems in the county. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mita. Honorable members, I now put the question that this House discusses and approves the report of the Trade, Economic Planning and Investment and Industrialization Committee on the Annual Development Plan for the financial year 2022-2023. As many as of the opinion say aye.
Aye.
As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. So, honorable members, at this point, the sitting of the House is adjourned. It is going to continue on the 29th. Yes, on the 29th day of March 2022 at 2:30 p.m. That is today, 2:30 p.m. Thank you.